Okay, so this is part 2 of the ECCO blog that I published up last night. We're now looking at Kliene music as opposed to the film music medley, and we'll just have a look at some of the little bits in this that were quite appropriate for string playing, but perhaps don't quite transfer onto the brass instruments quite as well. So let's just play the opening few bars. So all these are formed, it's on G major. First ones are G major, G, D, G, D, G, D, G, B, D. And these all form open strings on the violin or on the double bass. The string instruments are set to E, G, B, D on each of the strings. So this is quite easy for the string players to play, and it's quite easy on the tuba to play here as well. The areas where we start to get difficulty is later on, where the keys change just a little bit. So from where it comes back, it changes down a little bit. It was a little bit like this. And it's not difficult, but it just throws a little bit more of the notes and more vowels in. And the other area, or the next area where it does become a little bit tricky, is these scales that we've got. And it's just it's fine now that I can play it, but to start with it was getting all the accidentals and all the fingerings. So just slowed it down when I was rehearsing it earlier before the concert. We've got the tempo. And again, it's an area there that sits quite well on a string instrument. It starts on a D, D, E, F, G, A, C, B flat, and then up to the next one, da 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 dee dum. Whereas the valve combinations here come from D in second up to C sharps 2 and 4, the F sharp there 2 and 3, up to the G 1 and 2, and it's just the valve combinations becomes a little bit tricky just to get around. Until you memorise it. And then we've got return from the opening. And what the most important notes here, it's got to be a little bit rhythmic, the way that it is. The most important notes are these rests in between. It's not a dot crotchet, so it wouldn't go. So it's giving all these notes, so giving the crotchets their value, giving the quavers their value, and giving the rest the value that they deserve as well. And that just tightens it up nice and tight, because it's all sort of staccato there, and that gives the music the energy. Now the last section is probably the most difficult because it's quite low. Here's how it goes. And there should be a B natural at the end, where it played a B flat there. But it's tricky here because it goes down quite a bit below the stave, goes down at the bottom G there. And moving fast on the instrument of the tuba, it's quite a physical instrument that you've got to produce the sound compared to the double bass where you just be stringing across the bow, or bowing across the strings. The low notes are a little bit more tricky to get faster. And it's just about getting the tongue working behind the lips, getting the lips working fast, getting a good column of air in and supporting it. And again, for this area, just slow it down and picked out all the notes. And at the end of each bar there's these accents, which need to come out just a little bit more. So we've got da 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 dee bum bum, and that leads into the next bar. Bum bum, and it's just a variation on from the beginning. It's a little bit trickier because of where it's written. And of course down on that octave, especially the last note, it just sounds a little bit more muddled, so you've got to work harder to get this clarity. And to admit that before the concert, I was only playing, I'd only played E flat tuba for a while. And I've been playing in a brass band recently and playing B flat bass, which is a bigger instrument, it's about 3/4. This instrument's about 3/4 the size of it. And it's deeper, it's got a deeper volume and sound. And it's really improved the lower register that I'm playing in for situations like this, which is quite good for orchestral stuff because that's a lot of the time when it's written. And the E flat bass lends itself quite well to going up high, but it doesn't so much sit down that lower register quite as well. So doing a bit of B flat playing has definitely proved that. And that's the final result. So let's just play through it once more. All the accents will be in, and we'll just finish off with a little bit of listen to this.